Number 15.
By themselves?
How many are there?
About 200.
100 for each of us, huh?
Yep.
Well, that's not exactly fair to them.
Vash the Stampede and Nicholas D. Wolfwood from Trigun.
Hey, I don't want you killing anyone, alright?
Why don't you just ask me not to breathe?
Thou shalt not kill, remember? What kind of churchman are you anyway?
Time to kill! Showtime!
Okay, you're probably wondering why I'm cheating and putting two characters on this spot instead of one, so allow me to explain. While both Vash and Wolfwood are pretty cool on their own, in my opinion, while they're together they make one of the coolest and best partnerships in anime. Well, at least best partnership in anime since Shinji and his right hand. Lols. Whether they're just talking with each other, arguing with each other, or just kicking ass with each other, the coolest parts in the series is when both of the characters were on screen together, and I couldn't just pick one of them to put on this list. Vash is a gunman with a massive bounty of $60 billion on his head, dead or alive, whatever the fuck a $. Is, giving him the nickname of the humanoid typhoon due to the amount of collateral damage that surrounds him. With his trademark red coat, sunglasses and spiked up blonde hair, if we were going by looks alone he would be near the top of this list. He uses a massive nickel-plated revolver, and while being the main character of this show, a lot of mystery still surrounds him. I mean, we never even find out his real name. Or do we?
I am known as Valentinez Alcalinella Zihak Shushira Boheret, Gambigo Bella, Blue Stradivari, Talentrent Pierre, Andre Tartenhemos, Ivanovinci Baldos George, Deutzel Kaiser III. Don't hesitate to call.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call you Dave. Wolfwood is a travelling priest who carries around a massive cross with him, apparently so heavy because it's full of mercy. And in that case, best mercy ever. He's a very unusual priest to say the least, driving a motorcycle and being able to wear an all-black suit in a fucking desert planet. But he does at least uphold the teachings of God. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, and thou shalt kick some fucking ass. Okay, Wolfwood, you can stop kicking ass now. Both characters are expert gunmen with a deadly aim, being able to do inhuman feats with their respective firearms. Vash, for example, was able to divert a giant heavy spinning mechanical hand cannon speeding towards him with just 5 small bullets. And as for Wolfwood, well, he owns one of the coolest guns ever. It's a gun in the shape of a giant cross, where on one side it works as a massive machine gun, and then on the other side it functions as a rocket launcher, and then you can open it up and it contains a lot of smaller handguns. While individually they could both hold their own on most cool lists, they were certainly the coolest when they were together. On one hand, both of them had basically the same personalities, which led them to get along with each other instantly because they just complemented each other so well. Having just met, they formed an instant friendship which looked like they had known each other long before they'd met for the first time, which was completely evident how well they worked as a team. Yet, despite having very similar personalities, it also got interesting because they had completely opposite ideals, which may be hard to get your head around that they were the same characters yet complete opposites. Vash believes in never taking a life under any circumstances and always looks for an alternative solution when faced with a problematic situation, while Wolfwood didn't have any troubles taking lives as a way out, and this caused a lot of arguments between the two, but personally, I think it just adds to their partnership. They showed a kind of chemistry between best friends that I'd never seen before in anime, being able to fight, back each other up, or just have a laugh with each other in hilarious, cool or kick-ass fashion, where the usual requirement for being best friends in anime is apparently shouting each other's name as loud as possible every 5 fucking seconds. On-screen chemistry between the two, and no, I'm not talking about homosexual chemistry, grow the fuck up you children, elevated Trigun from being a good show with an interesting story and great action into one of my favourite animes of all time. But despite being 2 of my favourite ever characters, I just can't put them higher on this list, because like I've said, this isn't a list of favourite characters. Vash, like Lupin, flips between cool, serious, badass into silly, wacky loser, but unlike Lupin, he can literally flip between seconds of each other like his coolness is attached to a fucking yo-yo. Okay, that was a badass entrance, that was cool. Oh no, wait, he's gone to stupid. Oh no, wait, he's cool again. Wait, my mistake, he's back to being gay. No, now he's gonna go kick some ass. Our fucking hero. Also, due to the darker tone of the latter half of the series, Vash does have a small case of angsting now and then. And, whatever way you look at it, angst is never a cool thing. Shut up, Shinji. Though we can always tell when we have cool, serious Vash, since he always seems to be serious when he has his sunglasses on. He can be crazy and hyperactive 1 second, but as soon as he puts on his glasses, you know that it's going to be serious butt-kicking Vash all the way. And as for Wolfwood, well, he's only around when Vash is around anyway. and in the one episode where he does get the spotlight, well, all I can say is, fuck you, anime! Since I am cheating a bit, and I know I'm hardly biased with these two, they do slip down a bit. But if you're looking for one of the coolest and best anime partnerships ever, look no further than the combination of Vash and Wolfwood. Number 14.
You're a gutsy little punk, but if you don't shut that big mouth, you're gonna piss me off. Watch your ass, or I'll try out my new sword on you someday.
Why not right now?
Moogan from Samurai Champloo.
Forget all that formal crap about coming at me one at a time. I'll take all you bitches on!
When we think of the word samurai, what should come to mind is a historic Japanese warrior race famous for their unrivaled skill with the art of the sword and a strict honor code that is followed by everyone with supreme discipline. Then along comes a character like Moogan, a don't give a shit samurai who fights by breakdancing. Who fucking ray for historical accuracy, shouted Samurai Champloo, a traditional Japanese samurai tale set within a backdrop of hip hop. No, wait.
Samurai Champloo!
That's better. A samurai from the famous gangster period of Edo, Japan, Moogan sports a not give a shit attitude, doing anything he wants, whenever he wants, and only lives for himself. With his curved sword and metal-plated sandals, he has developed his own fighting style taken from copying bits and pieces from opponents that he's fought, resulting in a very peculiar fighting style, because apparently he's been dueling breakdancers up until now. But then again, there are beatboxers and rappers in his anime, so fuck, there's probably a b-boy crew somewhere, right?
On the peaks in the snow, he's a spooky mofo. Everything's gone a loony cause the mountain's haunted by Yoshitsune.
Which fucking time period are we in? The only way I can describe what he looks like is if you were to imagine what a gangster rapper would look like in Edo, Japan, with his red jacket and an afro-type hairstyle. Though, then again, the rapper part that he's missing is his shorts aren't low enough to be around his ankles yet. And I know that now I've mentioned samurais with afro hairstyles, a group of you are going to butt in now and go, ooh, what about that samurai who has an afro from the show about the samurai with an afro? You know, Afro Samurai, who's awesome because he has an afro and he's a samurai and his name is, well, Afro. And he's a samurai. Well, sorry. Yes, Afro is voiced by the man himself, Samuel L. Jackson, but come on guys. He could have made this list if he'd been given more than about 2 lines of dialogue per episode and actually gave him something that resembled some semblance of a personality instead of just making him a walking mute with an annoying jester shouting lines in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Yeah, you kinda did. Anyway, back to Moogan. Moogan is cool because, well, attitude and sword skill aside, his entire existence is just a contradiction. His looks, personality and fighting style are the exact opposite of what a samurai should be. And let's not get into a debate whether he is a samurai or not. I mean, the show is called Samurai Champloo! For fuck's sake. He's very easily agitated, rude, lewd, and he hates to lose. Ignore that unintentional rhyme there. And doesn't live by any code of honor apart from his own. Which is evident because he can kill for the sake of killing people. And he can seemingly kill on a regular basis for the sake of comic relief. Though he can also get serious, and he doesn't even need to rely on his breakdancing skills all the time. Alright, we could be here a while. Dude, he's walking to you at about a pace of 1 meter per hour. How threatening can this guy be? Oh right. Let's not forget that this guy is so badass he's literally been rejected from the gates of hell itself. His relationship with fellow travel companion Jean is a love-hate relationship being due to the fact they are complete polar opposites to one another. And I'm not talking Vash and Wolfwood samey opposites type, I'm talking complete polar opposites, with Jean having a very disciplined sword style and a personality of a rock to contrast Mugen's fiery nature. Add Fu, a girl who seemingly gets off at getting kidnapped, and you have yourself a well-balanced trio. Also, I know this is off topic, but why does Fu complain about her cup size when her breasts can do this? Anyway, the problem I had with Moogan was that I just thought he was too rash and too quick to pick a fight. Yes, I know that most of the time it was just to show how badass he is, but remember, this is a list of the cool, where badass really helps but is not everything. He lacked a clear mind at important times, and this certainly showed when faced with a stronger opponent. Also, Moogan is, what's the word? Moogan is, Moogan is stupid. I mean, grammar and vocabulary issues aside.
What the hell is a sunflower? She's sentimental. She's what kind of mental?
Yes, he certainly is a genius when it comes to fighting, but in every other situation, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times and you're a fucking retard. And on a side note, what guy could take a kick to the balls and still not be completely incapacitated? I mean, just looking at this scene hurts me. Ooh, fuck, that's gotta hurt. Let's hear that again.
There's a naked woman over there!
Though still, just the character description of badass gangster breakdancing samurai would get on anyone's list of cool. And for the badass that he is, he secures his place at number 14. Number 13.
You aimed for my head. You have to know a blow like that could kill a guy, right? And this means that you were intentionally trying to kill me, right? So then, whatever happens next is what you deserve, right?
Shizuo Heiwajima from Development.
Men with overwhelming power instinctively strike fear into the hearts of others. He's violence personified. It's what he lives and breathes. Simply put, he is the very definition of violence.
Most animes have a name which either summarizes who or what the series is about, or gives us a hint as to what's in store for the viewer when they watch the show. Bakano is Italian for the word noise and refers to all the chaos in the series. Death Note revolves around the powers of a notebook of death, and Dragon Ball is about the hunt for some, balls. With this in mind, what the hell is up with the name Durarara? Shizuo Heiwajima is just one character from a large cast from this anime. A debt-collecting bodyguard known as the most dangerous man in Ikebukuro. His usual get-up is a bartending outfit with purple sunglasses, and is someone who you should always apparently avoid when parading the streets of Ikebukuro. Of course, it's quite hard to miss him in the anime since Durarara has the distinct animation style of only colouring in their relevant characters, allowing them to walk through a crowded street uninhibited, ignoring all the pricks buzzing around them like they're gliding through the fucking Matrix. But anyway, while being very quick to anger, he also possesses inhuman strength. Well, actually that's not exactly true. While he does have incredible strength, it's not technically inhuman. Ever since he was a child, he's always had this mighty strength which seemingly comes from the fact that he cannot hold back his power. While a normal human brain would restrict the physical strength of a person, for some reason Shizuo was unable to hold back, causing him to regularly tap into the natural unlimited form of human strength, or the superhuman power people normally get during emergencies. But because this is a double-edged sword, he would damage his own body in the process. Combining this with his short temper, and you can see how often he would injure himself, though every time he did, his muscles and bone would just come back stronger. As an adult, his body's been injured so many times by his own power that it's actually caught up with him, permitting him to run rampant with all his strength without tearing itself apart. Though while he does possess monstrous strength, well...
Let me say this up front.
He really hates violence.
I really hate violence.
He really hates violence.
Damn it. So pissed off. You are so freaking dead!
Where are the dollars? No!
Shit.
I really hate violence.
He really hates violence. Yes, despite having this monstrous strength, he hates to use it, though it would be hard to tell that by the way he acts. He's very easy to wind up, having one of the shortest tempers in any anime characters, but no one sets off his temper quite like his eternal rival Izaya. And our famous informant, ever since the two first saw each other in high school, they bore an instant hatred for one another and have been trying to kill each other ever since. Now, he's able to detect Izaya's presence anywhere for some reason, partly because they are eternal rivals, but I think it's also because Izaya has a very unique smell which anyone would be able to detect. Right, Shizuo?
Smells like shit. Smells like shit.
But even though it's made very clear that these two hate each other's guts, for some reason it's impossible to search for pictures of Shizuo without getting at least one picture of a gay Shizuo-Izaya couple, which further cements my speculation that to yaoi fangirls, male rivalry equals bum sex.
More shit.
Seriously though, what's not to love about this guy? Like Moogan, he loses his temper regularly and also acts on it, but you just gotta laugh at the irony of his actions because as someone who hates violence so much, he's by far the most violent person in the series. But remember, he really hates violence. Unfortunately, he moves down on this list because despite being a fan favourite, he's actually hardly in this anime at all. In a 24 episode series, Shizuo only gets one episode centered around him, where in all the other episodes he was just shoved aside as a side character, being used as a muscle whenever somebody was asking for a beatdown. Which I thought was a shame considering that his episode was by far my favourite in the entire series, and because of that I don't have much more to talk about. Unlike his elder cousin Bakano, who gave equal screen time to its main cast, Durarara decided in the latter half of the series just to focus on three main characters. Wanna have a guess which ones? I mean, you have a cunning sneaky informant trying to start an all-out war, a guy who just destroys everything in his path, and a surprisingly cute headless rider on a bike that sounds like a horse. And what characters do you focus on? The high school kids. Thank you anime for more fucking high school kids. Still, for hardly being in the series at all, his popularity within the cast just shows how cool he is. He may hate violence and he may hate his powers, but don't expect the strongest man in Ikebukuro to show you any mercy.